Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of Campus Convos. I'm your host, Denise Lafranzo-Hinaga. Today we are talking about DACC's GEO bond, which is a general obligation bond, and we are welcomed today by Dr. Mónica Torres, who is the DACC President, and Kevin Merhege, who is our community member with Pioneer Bank. How are you guys?
Doing well, yeah, thank you.
I'm good, thanks for having us.
Wonderful. So we just talked about what a GEO bond means, general obligation. Tell me about the bond.
Every 4 years, DACC goes out to our community, to voters in the county, and asks them to support DACC in this very particular way. The bond is worth $16 million in projects for the community college, and I know that we'll talk about that for the rest of our time together. But it's really on property tax, and it's an investment that our community makes in DACC, so then we can make an investment in our community when students graduate and leave us to go to work in the community.
So Kevin, tell me a little bit about what is it that this bond is going to cover?
Well, yeah, there's several things it's covering. There's a lot of a few infrastructure pieces and components to it at our satellite campuses. There's some technology components to it, and also some security upgrades to the specific campuses. But as Dr. Torres said, the key word is it's an investment, and it's definitely a much needed investment in the community, our students, our county, and our city. So.
Definitely for current students and for future students. Which brings me to my next question as to why is this bond important?
You know, one of the things that we strive for at DACC is to provide a healthy, safe, engaging environment for students. Mm-hmm. And we're focused, when we think about an instructional environment, we're focused on the students. But I'll talk about where our other focus is as well. So when we do that, we need dollars to support that. And so as Kevin said, there's a number of things that we're actually aiming to provide as a result, and that includes the safety and security, the infrastructure, IT. One of the things that's happening since COVID, Kevin, I don't know if we've talked about this, but instruction is changing. What instruction looks like. So we have a lot more online opportunities for students, and that's why the IT upgrades those are absolutely critical for us. But also what a classroom looks like. You know, the kind of classrooms when you and I went to school, that's changing. We need tech-enabled classrooms. We need classrooms where students can collaborate and problem solve. And so some of the money will also go to create what I think of as 21st century classroom and instructional spaces. So those are some of the things that do. So we're trying to create that kind of engaging space for our students. But I also want to say that one of the other reasons it's important is that students need to be prepared for the workforce. Mm-hmm. Right. And so when I think about our focus for students, then what you see right behind that is the focus on the community and making sure that the students have the facilities they need and the instructional spaces they need to be ready for the workforce when they leave us.
Yeah, well, I think you hit it right on the head from a community perspective, and this is my perspective as well. Is we're investing in our kids, we're investing in the future of our students and our society. And so this bond allows us to do just that. We're also investing in our community, and I think that's the slogan we've chosen to really drive this home is our community, Doña County, Las Cruces, and so this bond really allows that efforts. But we're also investing in the future of the different trades that Doña DACC allows and teaches and provides. That's something that's much needed. Are the trades of not just here locally, but beyond Las Cruces. But it also allows for our students to stay local. I think that's one thing that we've seen. As the students walk across the stage and get their diploma or their degree, is they leave us, and so this hopefully will allow our students to stay local, Doña County, Las Cruces, and really learn and thrive and give back to our community.
Definitely, you pinpointed that perfectly. It is an investment in the community. So I think one thing voters may have a question on is this going to impact taxes at all?
Well,
Go ahead.
It's a win-win. Zero taxes. It will not impact the community from that perspective one bit. And so, that's something that that we could be excited for as we get to see some transformation in the look of the building, the technology aspects that we don't necessarily see from the outside, but will also not be impacted on those taxes.
One of the things that I'll talk about that I love working at DACC, and you know this because we've talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
I love the students we serve. I love the colleagues I get to work with every day. But one of the things I'm really proud of is that I walked into a situation where DACC has been really thoughtful stewards of the resources that we have. So from 1993, DACC has engaged in master facilities planning, master funding planning. And so part of what we see, because we have a very, very structured process for planning, both for what we want to do with our facilities, but also for funding that growth or those upgrades. There's never new taxes, right? There's never an increase in taxes. And I'm just really fortunate that the people, and this is DACC's 50th anniversary year, that the people who came before me have been so thoughtful about creating incredibly thoughtful, engaging, safe, secure instructional spaces.
And thinking about the future. One good way to think about this too is in your own home, in addition to upgrades that may be needed within our own facilities, is your house is going to need maintenance. And so it's kind of us maintaining what we already have here at DACC and, ensuring that our buildings are safe for our students too.
Absolutely. One of the things that institutions of higher education talk about all the time is something called deferred maintenance. And that is when you don't keep up with that sort of maintenance, and then all of a sudden you have, all sorts of expense to a building that's now completely outdated. I'm not worried about that for DACC now or in the future because of this thoughtful planning process.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, much credit, to you and your staff. I mean, this isn't something that you guys just dreamed and schemed overnight. It's been an ongoing process. You guys have really thought it out and put some time and effort into what's needed, for the future and for what we need currently, around our campuses.
Right. DACC, Denise, let me go back. You are not DACC.
Denise with DACC would work.
DACC. I wanted to go back to some of the projects too, because because of what's happened, right, and the way that instruction's changing, we have a tremendous emphasis on kind of the maintenance and upgrades to make sure that we can keep up. But one of the things that we also pay attention to is what's happening in the industry outside of our walls, because as Kevin was suggesting, much of what we do is prepare people for the workforce, right? Mm-hmm. That was our original mission, and of course is one of our continuing central missions. So we pay attention to what's happening in industry. There is a project that is part of this bond that actually is a new facility, or really upgrading the facility in a significant way and adding some space, and that is our Sunland Park campus. As we know, all sorts of things are happening in the economy in the southern part of the county and in Santa Teresa, the industrial park. And so part of what we're seeing is that kind of growth impact that facility. And so we are going to increase some space and some capacity at that location.
That's wonderful. With so many extra programs that we have there, in addition to the Industrial Careers Academy, and our nursing program has expanded there.
That's
so
right.
We really care about our South counties.
That's right. We offer non-credit training there, forklift training. We have a welding lab there. So it's very exciting, and I think we're just going to see more growth in that part of the county.
Definitely. So, which brings me to my last question is, how do people vote?
That's fantastic. There are numbers of ways to vote. Early voting starts on October 10th at the county building, Doña Ana County building. After that, October 21st is when there's multiple locations for early voting. But November 7th is Election Day, and there are polls all over the county for people to go to and vote.
Absolutely. We'll be there.
Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it. And if you have any more questions or you want some more information, you can go to our website at dacc.nmsu.edu. We have a GeoBond page. where you can get all of this information right here based on our GEO bond. So thanks again so much, guys.
Thank you, Denise. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
And thanks so much. We will see you again next month here on Campus Convos.